The 7-second rule. Right now, someone is deciding whether to trust you. Your boss, a potential client, someone you just met. And here's the terrifying truth. That decision happens in seconds, not minutes, not hours, seconds. Before you even finish your first sentence, they've already made up their mind. Studies show that people form a first impression in just 7 seconds, and 93% of that impression has nothing to do with what you say. So what determines whether someone trusts you instantly or keeps their guard up forever? For centuries, this was the secret of kings, diplomats, and master spies, men who could walk into any room and make allies out of enemies, who could turn strangers into loyal followers with a single conversation. Today, I'm going to teach you their secrets, 7 psychological techniques that will make anyone trust you instantly, without them ever knowing why. By the end of this video, you'll have the power to walk into any room and own it. Let's begin. Section 2. Why most people fail at building trust. Before I teach you the techniques, you need to understand why most people fail at building trust. They try too hard. They talk too much. They brag. They try to impress. They focus entirely on themselves, and the other person feels it, instinctively, unconsciously. They sense that something is off. Here's the truth that manipulators have known for centuries. Trust isn't built by proving how great you are. Trust is built by making the other person feel understood, valued, and safe. It's not about you, it's about them. Carnegie wrote in 1936, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get people interested in you." But most people do the opposite. They walk into a room thinking, how do I make them like me? How do I impress them? How do I prove my worth? Wrong questions. The right questions are, how do I make them feel? What do they need? What are they afraid of? When you shift your focus from yourself to the other person, everything changes. They feel it, they relax, their guard comes down, and trust begins. Now let me show you exactly how to do this. Section 3. Technique 1. The mirror effect. The first technique, mirroring. This is perhaps the most powerful rapport-building tool ever discovered, and it works completely below conscious awareness. Here's how it works. When we like someone, we naturally start to mirror them. We adopt their posture, their gestures, their speech patterns, their energy level. This happens automatically between people who are in sync. But here's the secret. You can reverse engineer this process. By deliberately but subtly mirroring someone, you trigger their brain to feel that you're similar to them, that you're one of them, that you can be trusted. FBI negotiators use this technique to build rapport with hostage takers. Therapists use it with patients. Master salespeople use it with clients. Here's what to mirror. Posture. If they lean forward, you lean forward. If they sit back, you sit back. But wait a few seconds. Don't be obvious. Gestures. If they talk with their hands, use your hands more. If they're still, be still. Speech patterns. Match their pace. If they speak slowly, slow down. If they use short sentences, use short sentences. Energy. This is crucial. If they're calm and quiet, don't be loud and energetic. Match their energy level. Words. Listen to the specific words they use and use them back. If they say, I feel like this project is stuck, don't say, I think there are obstacles. Say, I understand it feels stuck. But here's the critical rule. Be subtle. If someone notices you're mirroring them, it backfires completely. They'll feel manipulated and trust will be destroyed. The goal is to be a gentle echo, not an obvious copycat. Practice this in low-stakes situations. Coffee shops. Casual conversations. Notice how quickly people warm up to you when you mirror them correctly. It's almost unfair how well this works. Section 4, Technique 2. The vulnerability weapon. The second technique, strategic vulnerability. This one seems counterintuitive. We're taught to hide our weaknesses, to project strength, to never let them see us sweat. But that's exactly backwards when it comes to building trust. Here's why. When you present a perfect facade, people don't trust you. They sense that you're hiding something, that you're performing, that you're not real. But when you reveal a small weakness or vulnerability, something magical happens. Their defenses drop. They think, this person is being honest with me. This person is real. Researchers call this the pratfall effect. Studies show that competent people become more likable when they show small imperfections, not less. Spies know this well. When building trust with a target, they'll deliberately reveal a small personal struggle, a fear, a past failure. Not something huge, not something that destroys their credibility, just something human. Here's how to use this. Share a relevant struggle. I used to be terrible at this too, so I understand. This creates connection and removes the barrier between you. Admit small uncertainties. I'm not 100% sure about this part, but here's what I think. This actually makes people trust your other statements more. Reveal a controlled weakness. Public speaking used to terrify me. I still get nervous sometimes. This makes you relatable. But here's the key. The vulnerability must be real. People can sense fake vulnerability instantly. It has to come from a genuine place, and it must be strategic. Don't overshare. Don't trauma dump. Don't reveal anything that would genuinely damage people's confidence in you. The goal is to be human, not to be a mess. One moment of genuine vulnerability can build more trust than hours of trying to impress. Use it wisely. Section 5. Technique 3. Strategic agreement. The third technique, strategic agreement. This is one of the oldest manipulation techniques in history, and it's devastatingly effective. Here's the principle. When you agree with someone, they feel validated, they feel understood, they feel that you're on their side. And when someone feels you're on their side, they trust you. Master negotiators know this. They never start with disagreement. They start by finding common ground. They start with yes. There's a reason for this. When you disagree with someone, their brain registers it as a threat. They become defensive. They dig into their position harder. But when you agree, even partially, their brain relaxes. They open up. They become receptive. Here's how to use this. Start with agreement. Whatever they say, find something you can genuinely agree with first. You're absolutely right that, or I completely understand why you'd think that. Validate their emotions. Even if you disagree with their conclusion, validate the emotion behind it. I'd be frustrated too if that happened to me. Chronobating pon be writing timed. I'd be frustrated too if that happened to me. Chronobating pon be wide. I'd be frustrated too if that happened to me. Use the yes and technique. Instead of but, say and. Yes, that's true. And here's another way to look at it. This feels collaborative instead of combative. Find shared enemies. Nothing builds trust faster than a common enemy. We both know how broken that system is. This creates an instant us versus them bond. But here's the warning. Don't be a sycophant. Don't agree with everything. That's transparent and pathetic. Strategic agreement means finding real points of agreement. It means starting from common ground before introducing any differences. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to appear foolish and stupid." Sometimes the wisest move is to let the other person feel right, even when you know better. Agreement builds trust. Disagreement builds walls. Choose wisely. Section 6. Technique 4. Silent body language. The fourth technique, silent trust signals. Remember, 93% of first impressions have nothing to do with your words. So what's doing the talking? Your body. Every second, you're broadcasting signals that tell people whether to trust you or not. Most people are completely unaware of what they're projecting, but you're about to become aware. Here are the body language signals that create instant trust. Open palms. Throughout human history, showing your palms meant I have no weapon, I'm not a threat. This is hardwired into our brains. When you speak with visible, open palms, people unconsciously feel you're being honest. Eye contact, but not too much. The sweet spot is around 60–70% eye contact during conversation. Less feels shifty, more feels aggressive. When you look away, look to the side, not down. The genuine smile, a real smile, involves the eyes. The muscles around your eyes crinkle. A fake smile only uses the mouth. People detect this difference unconsciously. If you can't genuinely smile, don't force it. A neutral expression is better than a fake smile. Slow movements. Quick, jerky movements signal nervousness. Slow, deliberate movements signal confidence and calm. Watch any powerful leader, they move slowly. They're never rushed. The head tilt. When you tilt your head slightly while listening, it signals interest and engagement. It's a universal sign of attention. Use it when the other person is speaking. Nodding. Small nods while someone speaks show you're following and agreeing. This encourages them to continue and builds rapport, but don't overdo it. That looks desperate. Removed barriers. Don't cross your arms. Don't hold objects in front of your body. Don't sit behind a desk if you want to build trust. Physical barriers create psychological barriers. Here's the key insight. You can say all the right words, but if your body is sending distrust signals, the words won't matter. The body speaks louder than the mouth. Master your body, and you master the impression you make. Second 7. Technique 5. The name game. The fifth technique, the power of names. This is simple, almost too simple, but it's incredibly effective. Use people's names. Carnegie wrote, "A person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language." He wasn't exaggerating. When you hear your own name, specific parts of your brain activate, your attention sharpens, you feel recognized, you feel important. Most people don't use names nearly enough in conversation. They say, "Hey," instead of "Hey, Sarah." They say, "Good point," instead of "Good point, Michael." Here's how to weaponize this. Use their name early. Within the first minute of meeting someone, say their name back to them. "Nice to meet you, David." This accomplishes two things. It shows you were paying attention, and it helps you remember it. Use their name at key moments. When you make an important point, add their name. "Here's what I think, Jennifer." It makes the statement feel personal and direct. Use their name when they're speaking. A simple, "I hear you, Mark," while someone is talking, makes them feel truly listened to. Use their name at the end. When parting, use their name. "Great talking with you, Alex." It leaves a lasting impression. But here's the rule, don't overuse it. Using someone's name in every sentence feels manipulative and creepy. 2 or 3 times in a conversation is perfect. More than that becomes obvious. Also, get the name right. If you're not sure how to pronounce it, ask. If you forget it, admit it early and ask again. Using the wrong name is worse than not using it at all. There's another layer to this technique. Ryan Everettick to your guide of Gaunid Kauft. Pay attention to what people call themselves. Do they introduce themselves as William or Will, Elizabeth or Liz, Robert or Bob? Use the version they use. This shows you respect how they see themselves. A name is identity. When you use it correctly, you're saying, "I see you, you matter," and that builds trust instantly. Section 8. Technique 6. Consistent authenticity. The sixth technique, consistent authenticity. This one takes longer to master, but it's the foundation of lasting trust. Here's the problem with manipulation techniques. They work in the short term, but if there's no substance behind them, trust eventually collapses. The most trusted people in history weren't just skilled at projecting trust. They were genuinely trustworthy. This doesn't mean being a saint. It means being consistent. Here's what consistency looks like. Your words match your actions. If you say you'll do something, you do it. Every time, without exception. Nothing destroys trust faster than broken promises. Your private behavior matches your public behavior. People sense when someone is two-faced. When who you are in public matches who you are in private. People feel it. Your story stays the same. Liars get caught because their story changes. Truthful people tell the same story every time because it actually happened. Your values are predictable. People trust those they can predict. When your values are clear and you stick to them, people know what to expect from you. Here's the deeper truth. You can fake trust signals in the short term, but over time, the truth always emerges. The only sustainable strategy is to actually become trustworthy. This means keep your word, even when it's inconvenient, especially when it's inconvenient. This means be the same person in every room. Don't change your personality based on who you're with. This means admit when you're wrong. People trust those who can acknowledge mistakes far more than those who pretend to be perfect. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The ultimate trust technique isn't a technique at all. It's actually being someone worth trusting. Section 9, Technique 7, the long game. The seventh technique, play the long game. Everything I've taught you so far can be used in a first meeting, but real trust, deep trust, is built over time. Here's how to accelerate that process. The deposit system. Think of trust like a bank account. Every positive interaction is a deposit. Every broken promise is a withdrawal. The goal is to make many small deposits over time before you ever need to make a withdrawal. How do you make deposits? Follow through on small things. Remember details they told you. Show up when you said you would. Deliver more than you promised. The consistency principle. Psychologists have found that people trust those who are consistent over time more than those who have one great moment. It's better to be reliably good than occasionally excellent. This means don't try too hard on the first meeting and then fade. Be steady. Be reliable. Be there. The reciprocity loop. When you do something for someone, they feel obligated to reciprocate. But here's the key. Do things without being asked, without expecting anything back. This creates a deep sense of indebtedness that goes beyond transaction. The third-party effect. What you say about others when they're not present tells people how you'll talk about them when they're not present. Never gossip, never badmouth. If you only speak well of others, people will trust that you'll speak well of them too. The vulnerability escalation. As relationships develop, gradually share deeper vulnerabilities. Match their level. If they share something personal, share something personal back. This creates an escalating bond of mutual trust. But here's the most important principle of all. Trust the process. Real trust can't be rushed. It's built interaction by interaction, day by day, promise kept after promise kept. The techniques in this video will give you a head start, but the long game is what makes trust unbreakable. Invest in people before you need them, and they'll be there when you do. Section 10. Conclusion. The real secret of trust. Let me leave you with this. I've taught you 7 powerful techniques today. Techniques used by spies, leaders, and master influencers throughout history. Mirroring, vulnerability, strategic agreement, body language, names, consistency, the long game. Each one works. Each one will make you more effective at building trust. But here's the final truth, the one that matters most. The deepest form of trust isn't a technique, it's a choice. The choice to be genuinely interested in other people. The choice to keep your promises. The choice to be the same person in every room. Manipulators can fake trust for a while, but eventually the mask slips. And when it does, they lose everything they built. The truly powerful don't just project trustworthiness, they are trustworthy. Machiavelli is often misquoted as saying the ends justify the means, but here's what he actually understood. Reputation is everything, and reputation is built on reality. So yes, use these techniques. They work, but more importantly, become the person these techniques project. Be interested, be consistent, be real. Do that, and you won't need techniques at all. Trust will follow you wherever you go. If this video gave you value, subscribe to this channel. Remember, trust is the currency of power. The one who can build it instantly wins. Now go practice and watch how the world opens up for you.